Juan Mendez Scott's Mystery Magazine.
Chapter 2, Hidden Darkness. The door to my 2010 Ford Fusion slammed shut with a dull thud, the sound reverberating through the car like the echo of an empty heart. I gripped the steering wheel, my knuckles turning white, trying to steady myself. The engine hummed beneath me, a low growl that matched simmering in my chest. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I had to get away. Away from the house, away from the memories, away from everything that reminded me of jazz. Canopy Liquors was only miles down the road, nestled between a rundown gas station and a strip of olds that had seen better days. The place was a hole in the wall, the kind of place where nobody asked questions, especially if you had cash. I parked around the corner and waited, the impatience gnawing at me. My leg bounced up and down as I watched the door, waiting for the older kid I'd texted to show up. He was late. Of course, he was late. My anger flared again, but I forced it down. Patience, Trey. Just be patient. The door to the liquor store creaked open, and he finally stepped out, a brown paper bag clutched in his hand. He tossed it to me without a word, and I slipped him the cash. No small talk, no bullshit. Just the way I liked it. Back in the car, the bag crinkled as I tore it open, revealing the cold, dark bottle inside. I twisted off the cap and took a swig, the bitterness washing over my tongue, stinging my throat as it went down. It didn't taste good, but I didn't care. I just needed it to numb the pain, to drown out the thoughts that were eating me alive. The drive to St. Mary's State Park was a blur. The trees lining the road blended into a smear of green and brown, the colors bleeding together in the fading light. By the time I reached the parking lot, the sun had dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the ground. I killed the engine and stepped out, the bottle in my hand, and made my way to the river. The St. Mary's River was quiet, almost eerily so. The water was calm, barely a ripple disturbing the glassy surface. It was the kind of place people came to find peace, to clear their minds. But as I stood there, staring out at the dark water, all I could feel was the weight of everything I'd lost. Jazz's YouTube channel was still open on my phone. Beauty with a Smile, she'd called it. I scrolled through her videos, each one a painful reminder of the girl I used to know. The girl with a beautiful smile, the smile that could light up a room, that could make everything feel okay, even when it wasn't. I took another swig from the bottle, the alcohol burning as it slid down my throat. The water in front of me was so calm, so peaceful. But I knew better. I'd been out on this river before, on a kayak with Jazz one summer. The surface might look serene, but beneath it, the currents were strong, dangerous. They could pull you under before you even knew what was happening. Just like life, I thought. Just like Jazz. People always talked about how calm and collected I was, how I always seemed to have it together, but they didn't know. They didn't see the darkness lurking beneath the surface, the storm that was always there, threatening to drag me under. I took another swig, beer sloshing in the bottle as I tilted it back. "I miss you, Jazz," I whispered, my voice barely more than a breath. The river didn't answer, just kept flowing, quiet and steady. I wondered if she'd ever really seen me, the real me, or if she'd just been fooled by the mask I wore, the mask that everyone wore. I guess it didn't matter now, she was gone, and all I had left was this empty bottle and a heart full of rage. As I stood there, the beer in one hand and my phone in the other, I realized something. The peaceful, scenic waters of St. Mary's were a lie. Just like me, just like everyone else. We all had our hidden depths, our dangerous currents, and sooner or later, those currents would drag us down, no matter how hard we fought to stay afloat. I looked out at the river one last
On the next episode of Juan Mendez Scott's Mystery Magazine. Chapter 3. A Lonely Struggle.